Hey everybody out there, the Dark Avenger universe, comic book community, and YouTube community, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger comic book review.
Yep.
Waiting for him to sit down. Okay, we are 32 episodes away from 200.
Yep.
Still counting down, still got the blackboard. It's getting a little dirty from all the erasing and redoing, but yeah, it's still here.
Yep, 3-2. Except there's no 1 after the 2. Like 3-2-1.
If there was 321 episodes left till 200, there'd be something wrong.
Very wrong, because that would be a huge number, and yeah.
So let's get into the news really quick for the internet world. Dark Avenger Inc. Plus going amazing, and officially has hit by the end of this weekend their 10-member set amount. Their 10-member amount.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how it grew so fast. Don't think that all the surprises are done yet, though, guys. There's still many surprises to come for Dark Avenger Inc. Not only from their members, but not quite done yet myself. And there's also another, little teaser that's going to be going up on Dark Avenger Inc. as well very, very soon. You guys will have to stay tuned for that. And there was another mission set out. Last week was from Mike Spiderslayer. This week is from Jeremy Jal Ghul from Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. Lots going on. And comic news-wise, April solicitations are out. Lots of interesting things. I did read those Superman comics, most of them.
And
from they were okay. Action Comics, I'm eager to see Grant Morrison leave the title and see where that goes. When it comes to Superman, the artwork is good. The Hell on Earth story arc, I am eager to see it just end, man. It's done. And also the scar.
Bad?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And also the scar on Lex Luthor's face. Yeah, that's definitely something that's going to take some getting used to. But anyway, it was okay, though. Will I still continue to read Superman? Yes. Will it show up on my reviews at some point? Yes. When Hell on Earth is over and whatever's going on in Action Comics right now is over, the story arc in Action Comics, they will be returning to the weekly comic book review. I might stick Action Comic in before the story arc's over. That just depends. As far as Superman goes, when the Hell on Earth storyline is over, which I believe is in 2 more issues, then I'll jump back into Superman on these reviews. I'm looking forward to Scott Snyder's Superman, hopefully that writing, because he's doing an amazing job on Batman, and we'll get into that in a second. Books in this review were released on the week of January 16, 2013. No indie books this week, unfortunately. Next week there are a few. I missed the Foot Clan, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Secret of the Foot Clan, issue 2. That's going to be in 2 episodes instead of next episode. But we're jumping into the big 2, and from DC I only got 2 Bat books this week. Batman and Robin issue 16, which had Robin versus Batman, or was he? The Joker tells Batman to attack Damian. And the rest of the book is Damian trying to snap his dad out of whatever trance the Joker has him in. The Joker's just watching, and he's just loving it. And Damian decides to then run away because he doesn't want to kill his dad. He doesn't want to fight his dad. The artwork in the book is actually really awesome.
Yeah, it's a creepy Joker Batman. Wouldn't say much.
Long story short, Damian decides to turn and fight. He does fight Batman, but he won't kill him. And then Joker, spoiler alert, kills him. But it turns out that the Joker, the Joker Batman is not really Batman. It's somebody who's playing Batman for a day. So it was a decoy, and then Damian gets knocked out because of the Joker toxins that were in his body this entire time. And Joker's leading Damian somewhere, we don't know where. And it ends with this. And I have a very, very bad feeling I know what's in here.
And your guess would be?
I don't want to say it.
Oh.
Because if I'm wrong, which I am hoping I am wrong, I'll be very happy. But if I'm right, Oh God, I have a feeling I'm right. I have a feeling it has something to do with Alfred. If my feeling is correct. Which then leads us into the big book from DC this week. Batman, issue number 16. All the numbers are the same from DC Comics. So, Batman is now in Arkham Asylum. Falling right into the Joker's trap, of course. It's all a set trap, basically. Batman's just staying inside of his mind saying, you know, just keep it straight, he's just a man, you know, just keep your head on straight. And Joker has a bunch of these sick and twisted things going on in Arkham that he had set up for Batman. And first he has the inmates at Arkham Asylum attack Batman, and Batman, of course, spoiler, no real spoiler alert there, wins. You have Mr. Freeze, Clayface, as well as the Scarecrow going up against Batman. He takes him out one shot. Literally, each page.
Batman.
Each page of the book. Mr. Freeze, done. Clayface, done. And then he walks into this room. He's like, Joker, it's over. And he's like, wait, what the hell? And you get this.
What the hell is indeed? Like.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Joker has everybody planned out. Penguin as his bishop, Riddler as his strategist, Two-Face as his honorable judge, and of course Joker as his faithful court jester. And they're basically executing these costume people that look just like, well, not they don't look just like, but they're supposed to represent his Justice League friends. And one of them dies, and Batman tries to interrupt, and this metal gate comes down, and Batman's able to stop them from executing the fake Justice League people, but Joker, by dropping that cage, traps himself and all the others inside. But Joker's not stupid. This time, he has Batman's entire Bat family. Mm-hmm. And basically he tells Batman if he wants to ever see them again, he'll take his place on the throne. And if he doesn't, what did he say if he doesn't? If he doesn't, he'll never find a single trace of any of them ever. He'll grow old wondering what happened to them and what I did to each one. So Batman takes a seat at his throne, which is really like an electric execution chair, and we're left off with that. Spoiler there. Now, I don't condone the backup stories. Ever. Mm-hmm. However, the backup story actually takes place right after the events that happened the page before. This is the follow-up. So Batman's not dead. He's just in the chair and he's all wrapped up. So Joker basically tells Two-Face, Penguin, and Riddler, I don't want you guys to interfere. The rest is between me and Batman. You guys will deal with it maybe later on. And they don't want to listen to him, but Joker traps them back into the cage where they originally were. And basically, Joker shares with them what he has in the serving tray. And yeah. I'm not looking forward to what's underneath that tray. So he's taking Batman and he's going to serve him and the rest of the Bat family a dinner with that tray at the center of the table.
Wow.
I don't feel comfortable anymore about this, because I have a very bad feeling I know exactly what's underneath that plate. And if that's the case, oh boy, a lot of people are going to be really upset.
Oh, indeed. I could tell the riot. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see from next issue. It looks like.
We'll see. It all concludes in the next issue. This book, I leave up to you guys, but I really enjoy it. But this book, I highly recommend. This is one of the stories that's going to go down in the DC Universe histories. It's that crazy. So we're done with DC, and we're going straight into Marvel. Captain America #3. This book has me in a very weird predicament. And I'll explain why at the end of the book. But we're going to go through this book, and we'll discuss. So, of course, well, it starts off in the past with Mr. Zola, and first of all, this is a very creepy beginning, if you ask me. But then again, once again, you guys know I just started reading. Yeah, I know. I just started reading Captain America way back when the last volume started, where he was, where it was by Ed Brubaker, I believe. Yeah, it was Ed Brubaker. Now we're on Rick Remender. And before that, I never read Captain America, so I don't know too much about Arnim Zola. And it starts off with him or his ancestor, whoever, experimenting on people. And he has this woman who he decapitated and put her head on a dog's body. We then jump back into the present, where he's training his daughter with this costume. And she's like, Dad, what am I exactly preparing for? He's like, the wretched evil that awaits us all. We then jump back into Cap, who saves his son, or is the boy who's claiming that he's claiming as his son. And one of the men steps up and says, no, he's not part of Zola. He's a good guy. He can help us. So Cap is spared. We then get a flashback again of Cap from his childhood. If you're interested in hearing more about Cap and his childhood, you can check out this book. I'm going to leave this part out so you guys have something to check out. But it does involve Captain America's character, how it develops and how he becomes braver. So anyway, jump back to Dimension Z. He's talking about how he's very sick. He's coughing up blood and everything, and things aren't good. And he's trying to figure out a way to go home. So he's taken to this crystal lake place, or to drink some crystal water. This way he's it'll heal him or something. And then Cap is talking with the guy, with one of the soldiers, and he's explaining to him what's going on. And Cap's like, you guys are treating him like a tyrant. The only reason he's, head, this is the guy that almost executed him, is because you guys are afraid of him. Really, you guys are fine without him. You don't need him as a leader. All it takes is one of you to rise up. And that's when the guy shows up again with Cap's shield, and a fight ensues, but not before the guy kills the person that not only saved Cap from being destroyed, but who basically was like his only friend here. Cap gets his shield back, but basically this thing ain't going down. So Captain America's super soldier serum has no effect, or it doesn't make him any stronger in this dimension. And basically one of the crystals from the lake he uses, and it knocks the guy out. But the person, Zofjor, his name is, does end up gutting him from bottom of the stomach up. So his stomach and chest are ripped open.
Ouch.
And this is why I'm divided.
What?
I'm going to spoil it. If you guys don't want to see it, fast forward till you see me pick up the next book. So I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1. This happens. Apparently, Captain America has Arnim Zola in his chest and or stomach, so now he's like a robot?
Oh no, tell me this is not going to be like a mind control thing.
No, that's inside of his body.
Yeah, but doesn't it control his mind or his actions?
So, no, he's just inside. He's basically, Zola is now on his body, like on the robotic body too. And it's left with him saying, you must protect your Zola, Aaron Rodgers. He is your new closest friend. Okay, this series, in 3 issues, has gone from questioning to, wow. After this issue, I'm in one of 2 places with this book. First one being, okay, this has gone to the point now where after seeing what I saw on that last page, I don't want to read the rest of the story arc. I'll come back when it's over. That's the bad part. That's the side of me that's gonna drop, that wants to drop the book, because this is going way out there, guys. But then there's the other side of me that says, okay, I saw this, now I want to see the rest of this story through to see how he's going to get out of this and get him. Wow, obviously, if you're reading the Marvel Universe now, Cap doesn't have a Zola on him, so it's like the other half of me that wants to keep the book wants to know how Cap is going to get Zola out of his body. However, I think after the next issue, that's going to make the decision. This issue isn't going to be the one that does that, but I think by issue 4, if things get any creepier, especially after that first little thing with the woman dog and then the ending, we'll see if after issue 4 I'll be sticking around for Captain America. But I am getting issue 4. This is definitely one of those stories that are out there. I need to know what happens next, like as far as next being the next issue, but if I gotta live with this for 12 issues, I think I'm probably gonna say pass until this story arc's over.
So it's like a buzzer going,
It's like, we're at issue 3. That means there's 9 issues of this left. When I get issue 4, 8 issues of this left. Am I gonna want to spend, am I gonna want to read double the amount of books that I've already read by issue 4? Because it's 4 more issues times 2, because it's 8 issues. I think the next issue is going to determine.
It just doesn't make sense. Just seeing that.
This is absolutely out of continuity, because in the regular books right now, Cap is 100% fine. So this book is definitely out there. I'm intrigued, but at the same time, as I said, the flip side of me is like, okay, this has gone completely weird, wacko, and maybe you should just drop this and wait for the next arc. So I'm gonna lean on the side of I'm gonna keep reading this because I want to know what's gonna happen next. But by issue 4, if I'm still leaning between the two, I think I'm gonna lean towards dropping this story arc and then coming back when Mr. Rogers comes out of Dimension Z. I wasn't too keen. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on this 12-issue first story arc, and the weirder it gets, the more uninterested, or the more I don't want to finish this arc, and I'd rather just wait till the next one and maybe pick it up in trade if it picks up. Next is the last issue for a while that I'll be getting of Avengers Assemble. Avengers Assemble issue 11 concludes this story arc. I don't even know what the heck the story arc is called, to be quite honest. I don't even know if it has a title. I'll check. Nope, just says File 10, Assemble 10, which is obviously from the last issue. So, Hulk is infected, and it's up to Spider-Woman to put the vaccination, or whatever it is, the cure, inside of his body, and then it's up to the Hulk to do the rest. So, somewhere else, however, Mr. Gangham, or Gangman Yu, however you pronounce his name.
I thought you were going to say Gundam. Like Gundam style. Oh, well, Gangham.
Yoon Gung Han.
Yeah, something like that.
Yoon Gundam style. Okay. So Mr. Gundam style over here is trying to, he's a scientist, and he wants to revolutionize the world. He wants to infect the world, and this catalyst, that's what this virus is called, he needs somebody who's able to host it so he can control them, and, all science and blah-de-blah-de-blah. So basically, he wants the Avengers to come to him, and he wants to infect them, and guess what? By the time Tony Stark figures it out, it's too late. He's like, there's a study, the bacteria from Volstagg overpower the human host. You'd need, and that's what he's thinking, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Spider-Woman, himself, Thor, and Hulk are all there. And he's like, superior host, we gotta turn around. But then it's too late. It turns out Yoon's plan was to pollute the water, to drown the village, so to speak, and the Avengers would have no choice but to jump in to save the village, and at the same time get infected by the bacteria. However, the Hulk was already infected, and Iron Man wants to drop him and let him deal with the water and the bacteria. But Spider-Woman says Hulk has to choose, and this was the best part, where she goes to him and goes, big guy, you choose. And he's like, Hulk chooses to be an Avenger. And, yeah. What?
be right back.
Okay, Mike has to go, so he'll be right back. So Hulk gets dropped, and he actually jumps in to save the day. So he stops the water from going down. Thor shoots the water up into the Earth's atmosphere, freezing it, and Captain Marvel takes the frozen chunk and chucks it into space. And then the Avengers show up, and they face Mr. Yoon over there. And yeah, they it's funny. It's just like in the Avengers movie. The Hulk just shows up, puts his head on the guy's face, tosses him, and that's it. And I love Iron Man's remark, "We're the Avengers, and we're kind of a big deal too." So, jumps to the next day, and Bruce Banner and Tony Stark are having some nice conversation between each other. And then the Avengers show up and say, "Okay guys, drop your pants." And they're like, "Excuse me, what?" And they're like, "You lost the bet." And they're like, "Who lost the bet?" And they're like, "Both of you, because the bet was whoever won and found Sorkin would win." And
sorry about that.
You back?
Yeah, it was just
yeah.
stuff.
And basically the Avengers like, "We won, you didn't." So basically, both of them lost, and both of them have to walk all the way to Avengers Tower naked. I love how Bruce Banner kind of morphed into the Hulk for this ordeal. And in Tony Stark's hand is a phone jammer so nobody can take pictures. However, they forget their friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And this isn't a spoiler. On the last page, they made front page news. And that's it. So it went from very serious to very funny at the end. And at the same time, it was good. And the conversation between Tony Stark and Bruce Banner at the very end, when they were, you know, back at Avengers Tower and everything, was awesome. And definitely, this story arc, this 3-part or 4-part story arc, was an enjoyment. I believe it was maybe about 3 parts, because I believe it went into Marvel Now back at issue 9. We're at 11.
I think so.
I'm not sure, but either way, this is a really good story. I would highly recommend you guys check it out. The next story does not really interest me. I checked it out. It's going to involve Hawkeye and Black Widow. Not too interested in it, but maybe I'll come back again to Avengers Assemble when another story arc presents itself. When it comes to this type of book, or Avenging Spider-Man, or 8+X, it's just whatever team-up interests me is what I'm going to pick up, and then when it doesn't interest me, I drop it, and the next story doesn't interest me, so I'm going to be dropping it. However, guys, Avengers Assemble is a really awesome book, and I definitely say you guys should check out this story arc. It's really great. Next, we have Venom, issue number 30. And this is the last part to this story arc. And this was crazy. Flash Thompson's out cold, and he's actually talking in the word squares. He's like, "I wish I could say I remember what happened, but I don't." And he's talking about how he doesn't know if it was the demon or the symbiote that took over while he was asleep at the wheel. But let's just say when the symbiote took control or the demon took control,
yeah, that's all over the place.
It was crazy. It was like reading classic Venom for a bit. Sick, twisted, and in the end, Venom, I'm calling it Venom because it wasn't Flash, Valkyrie wakes up and is able to free Katie, or Kathy, or Katie. Yeah. She's able to free Katie, and they and the hostages were taken, and they got out safe. And Venom, who was manipulating the UFO's soldiers, I want to try to find a good picture of it. He basically puts his symbiote over their head and their face. He can see their mind, their everything inside of their mind, and he can control them. And he turns the machine on and teleports himself and the UFOs somewhere. Where? We don't know. Later on, Venom comes back, but now Flash Thompson's awake again. And he has no idea what happened to the UFOs, but he sent them somewhere deep, dark, and yeah, they ain't coming back anytime soon. And all this time, it goes to the present where it's Flash it shows you who Flash is talking to, and you believe he's talking to Valkyrie and Katie. However, they left right a little bit after what happened, and he's basically talking to himself. They were all made from the symbiote. He basically made little fake copies of them to talk to. So really, Flash is just talking to himself and using the symbiote to make pretend people that he's talking to. Really, they left right after, and he's like, I don't blame you, but it just would have been nice to talk to someone, not myself, and dupe symbiote puppets. And then I love the ending where Flash is like, a man, his symbiote, and his demon. Sooner or later, boys, we need to have a chat. And then we jump to Brooklyn, New York. Bushwick, no less. And the SWAT team goes and breaks in this door, and you see all this huge pile of bodies. And it turns out they're criminals. How is it put? Criminals, gang members, pushers, and leg breakers for hire, and they were all killed. So basically, and by the way, it's Eddie Brock. Toxin. We all knew Toxin was coming next, so it's not a big spoiler there. So basically, Eddie Brock is still under that. Innocence is okay. They're not going to die, but he still goes after the guilty. And actually, I should take that back, because the way this book ends is the SWAT team tries to kill Toxin, and Toxin in turn kills them. So basically, Eddie Brock's little, no innocent dies thing, I guess that's kind of out the window, but at the same time it's not. He's still killing only the bad guys. However, I guess when he gets found out, he kills other, I don't know. But the next issue, nonetheless, is Venom versus Toxin. That story arc I'm looking forward to also. This cover was weird, though. Venom eating a sandwich over a bank robber. It was kind of weird, but story was good. I would definitely recommend it. Can't wait for the next story arc. It's going to be weird seeing Eddie Brock as Toxin, but at the same time, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen next. And Venom has a new home, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It looks like all the Spider family is leaving New York except for the main one, Pete. Well, Doc Ock. Yeah. And, by the way, since we only have 58 seconds left, it was announced that this summer there's going to be a big Spidey event.
And let me guess, Pete's come back?
I have a feeling that's exactly what it is.
Oh, I hope so.
So, the April solicitations for Spider-Man are saying the stuff that happens in that issue, the 2 issues in April, leads into, or begins to lead into, the big summer event, of the big Spider-Man summer event. And I think that's where it's going to be Doc Ock versus Spider-Man round 2. And this time I think they're playing for keeps this time, and hopefully Pete will win. But that's my guess. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe the event is something completely different. It could be Doc Ock turning Spider-Man completely bad for a while, and you don't know. But my hypothesis is that it's Spider-Man fighting for his body back, and that's that. So we're going to the next part. But my hypothesis is that's the big Spidey event. After 12 issues, because by the summer it'll be at like issue 12 or 17 or something. Spider-Man, that's going to be the big Spider-Man event for the summer. Alright guys, so stick around, come back for part 2. We're probably going to end it in the next part. Not too many books left. There is still one Marvel Now #1 this week. So stick around, I'll see you guys in the next part.